will be of service to others. So we're doing another conscious activism, supporting your conscious activism class. Although really with you three, you can talk about anything you want to. Like, how are you doing out there? How's it going? And what's relevant today? Good to see you all.
I just wanted to say I'm experiencing joy looking at the painting behind you, Madge. Like I just really noticed that. Yeah. Yeah.
So tuning in.
I'm
Beautiful.
watching someone's dog, but I edited a book of this guy's paintings. By the way, Stan
Oh,
Engelhardt from Durango, Colorado, Jules.
we
He's
repeat his name?
deceased.
Stan
Stan Engelhardt,
Engelhardt. Okay.
and that's his jam, these colors of landscape.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Channel.
Welcome.
How's everybody doing with, I guess we could start with politics, but and beyond, like the world, your experience of the world and whatever might be coming up. Of course, is there really a there out there is always the question.
Is it all right if I jump
Please,
in, Laura? Did
please.
you want to jump in?
Marge, I think you're kind of our leader with this whole thing, and I just so appreciate you sort of carrying the torch of,
Oh,
I
I
know, it's like
appreciate that too,
put
Julie.
yourself out there.
But I'm mindful of sharing airtime.
Sure, we've got an
And
hour.
some people are shyer than others, and I'm not shy. And so then if there's dead air, I'm like, oh, I should jump in. I don't want to be that person either,
Well,
taking it.
I know, right? Trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to just, yeah, be respectful.
My
Um,
story, there's plenty of time, and also Channel. That also, I have a second story that Channel and Laura. I don't know, shy. That would not be my word for
uh-huh.
that. Maybe used to
Good.
stepping in.
Good. I would like to know their word when they tune it, when they open their mic. Um, I am, when I wake up into a dog's day, I am a way happier person. I'll say that. It's like I really got to get clear how to build into my day that presence. And I'm not prepared to get my own dog, but it is stunning to me how much the better the day goes when I wake up into a dog's day and am taking care of something. So what can I take care of? I need to take care of something. I need to love something, and that will make life, because it's not a person right now, but maybe I'll get busy. Anyway, that's one thing. I've been very balanced through that. The other thing I'm paying attention to, and maybe joyful is also my word, Channel, strikingly or peaceful, is that I do see the things happening collectively that are pointing to the shift,
Oh,
including the young man that shot the CEO. Not that that was the joyful thing, but look at the conversation it's exposing.
hmm.
And that people are from both sides are uniting. Like we're all getting screwed by the healthcare system. And I just go, God, if that's how this thing works, which I know it does, this is how movements happen. But if I'm going to have my attention on politics, I am finding more joy, strangely, in seeing where there's shifts or potentials for shift. So I'm fascinated by it.
Huh. It sounds like your attention has shifted to the shifts. I mean, like you've actually changed your attention to go towards that possibility, like the places that you
What's
see the changes happening.
what's true, Jules, which has already been said in here previously, is if I'm starting in a better state, that's where I'm vibrationally going to look. I really do get that, which is why I know I got to start the day amping up my state, or finding something to love.
Well,
Um, yeah, that's how it's going.
and my thought is, as we are winding down this class, because we'll decide whether we want to meet next week or not, but maybe we will. Maybe even then, it's going to come to an end with the end of the year, and taking away commitments to certain practices that will support us. and getting clear about what are really those practices that support us versus that. I think you even used this term a while back, Marge, this what strengthens us. Did you talk about that? What strengthens us versus what I can't remember the other. It wasn't depletion.
What weakens us or what doesn't
What
strengthen
weakens
us.
us.
Yeah.
And literally, like as a body, like reactive brain weakens me. I mean, I can feel it. Ugh. Versus these other practices that you're alluding to. Wow, I feel stronger. My body literally is stronger as a result of those.
And I'll just say one more thing. I noticed that I don't know if I want to call it a laziness, but Tony Robbins, he'll prime and
Yeah,
and I'll just go, I don't want to have to do something. I want it to just occur naturally. Oh, there's a dog in my space. So
sure.
I'm fighting the adding another thing to the two. Oh, I got to sit down now and meditate, or I just want it to be in my environment.
Mhm.
Um,
What if the practice is creating an environment that strengthens you? I mean,
yeah,
that's amazing to really
yeah.
think about that. Like starting with the painting, and I know it's not yours, but still like, wow.
Julie, you just gave me so much because I got to move. And I keep using all these things for the decision-making factor. I go, what if that's the decision-making factor? So anyway, thank you.
My
I really,
friend Becky Margiota, what did she call this? Oh, maybe y'all can help me. She and some other friends are in Mexico, and I'm going to actually look it up. What did she go? She said they did something, some sort of to find out. No, I don't think I can pull it up. Where it's like a longitudinal, latitudinal, like talking to somebody who tunes into that energy. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, and says, okay, these are the places that will strengthen you the most across the globe. Like, oh, go here and this place in Mexico.
astrocartography.
Say the word again.
Astrocartography, they put your chart, your astrology chart across, where I got 4 lines, Julie, across Alaska.
Interesting. Any place else, or is that your only choice?
Somewhere in the middle of an ocean. You know what I mean? Oh, UK, Ireland.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
They're thinking about retiring there because that was what came up. Like, wow. So to that degree, like what really strengthens us? Astrocartography. Right. Hmm. I'm having this fantasy, Marge, of this parade of dogs that's hanging out with you. I mean, you go find like you're house sitting, so you find them, but gee whiz, what if you're home? It doesn't have to be. I have my own dog, but wow, here's this dog. Like they're still away because that clearly is the energy that you vibe in, that you feel expanded in. And so how else could you do that besides saying, okay, here's my dog versus, what
I
about other
was
dogs?
mapping out dog rescue centers. Like there's this guy who runs the Asher House, and then I kind of go, let me find one who's dateable. You know what I mean? Like I'm scheming.
Or opening, these are my people. Hmm. I think a big question for me through politics, a through line question is it okay if I'm not devoting parts of me to, putting my attention there in what's wrong? I mean, is it from some moral place? Is it all right if it doesn't seem like it makes any difference if I pay attention or I don't? But to be an informed citizen, right? Democracy relies on informed citizens. We need to know. Well, is that true?
I don't think so.
Who decided that, right?
I know I had the whole, that you need to vote, because if you don't vote, well, you're not even participating in it. So how can you complain about it? So I vote so I can complain. No, I'm not saying
Right.
that. But I have a theory, and sometimes I'm embarrassed by this, but I've disengaged from a lot of the news and stuff like that. Whereas my father's a two newspapers a day kind of guy. That was what we grew up in, and he still is. Yeah, but I have learned that the things I need to know come to me. Do you know what I mean? And it might be other family members, it might be friends, whatever. So. I don't know. I just found it had an impact on my state, and there's part of me that's blissfully ignorant about some things. And like I consider myself an intelligent woman, so there's a part of me that struggles to actually even admit that to people. But it's a thing for me at the moment, anyway. Mm.
And what have you found from that for you, Channel, by disengaging from that? What have you found?
I just feel like it's a whole lot of clutter and noise. And often if I sit down and listen to the news, it's fear after fear after fear after fear. And it's like, okay, so I've just eliminated that whole section of fear-inducing stuff from my life, I think I create enough of it myself. So
You don't need extra help.
people to encourage me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But I just wanted to comment on what Marge was saying about pointing to the shift. Like, I feel like I've experienced differences post-election, and um, just people in these communities, I feel like connecting more and communicating more with each other. And I feel like people are helping to, well, I don't know. I'm conscious, I don't want to sound like a victim, but it feels like people are strengthening and supporting each other so that we've actually got reserves and energy to take something different to the world. That's the story I'm making up with what I'm observing. Mm. Like that we don't have to do it. We don't have to be independent. We don't have to do it alone. We can do it with kind of thing. That feeling that we are connected. Yeah.
One version for me of what happened in the election, the US election, um, that we've got one side that is very into fear and power over as a way of being, and that's got its own benefits for sure. And then a different side, it seemed like is very focused on relating, how to support each other, how to support other people that, so that's all, we're in this together. Well, here's a good news. As people are having to use up a lot of energy over here, there's a lot of space to keep strengthening that. Um, to be like, okay, go do what you're gonna do and do it big and go for it. And then look, now all this freed up time and space to really strengthen the connection and strengthen our ability to create strong relationships over time.
Or were you gonna?
I was just chewing because I'm very definitely and I always have been in more channels mode of I will go out and I will absorb a certain amount of the news. I will read. I will not watch presentations and I won't watch video because I don't I don't want that stimulus, but I will read and I will absorb what I want. But I'm very careful about how much I absorb because um, I don't want to live in fear, and I don't want to live with. I believe the world is a good place, and I don't. I still very strongly feel that our media has to grab you, and the way to grab you is through emotion. Fear is the big one, and anger. And so I don't feel that when I listen to interviews and everything, it's all very leading to me. It's not just, hey, what happened? Or what's your idea? We're always trying to find the blame, find the this. I mean, they're trying to bring out emotions in their listeners, in their observers that are contrary to what makes a peaceful, happy person. And that's the reason I'm very careful about what I let in. I mean, I feel like I know a little about a lot that's going on, but I don't watch the news.
Marge, where do you land in all of that? How do you
I
modulate that, or what do you do?
I noticed that I'm so irritated by some of the media I used to take in. So it happens naturally. Like I don't have to force myself. I'm just irritated, so I don't partake anymore. There's no juice. What I have noticed is that some of the people I love listening to because they're funny, even if they're snarky, or like Hakeem Jeffries always speaks in alliteration in threes. And I just noticed that there's a pleasure because I do want to know, but I'm just happening to notice that there's some people I admire so much, Rachel Maddow. Like I just admire them so much. So I think it must be that I feel strengthened by their strength. Um, and I'm so glad that they're so uniquely themselves. I will say that's another thing pointing to change, which is that I've been angry with the media all this time, 2016, and there's a bunch of independent journalists who have formed a coalition called Chorus. And so I go, because they recognize that the left can't combat, sorry for the word, the right wing mediascape. And it's called chorus. And it's such a great word. We're going to sing together.
Uh-huh.
And it has the word it's already a together to chorus. Multiple voices rising, right? I was going to say one other thing about that.
Is that a web page? What is that?
It is Politics Girl, if she's on your radar, Brian Tyler Cohen, and someone else in the YouTube. If you go to the website,
Okay.
I think they have a fledgling website.
Okay.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Someone in a place sometimes read, they said, just disengage. Because now I get that this is an us versus them, but it's pointing to the energetic that side you talk about, Jules, they just want to fight with us. They just want to own the libs. If we disengage from that energy, they will eat themselves because they have to do that thing. And I was like, that's it. Like if you got to live below the line, you'll just one up someone else. But you ain't gonna do it to me. I'm not, so it's pointing to something like, how do we solve this? Well, we got to start by not going below the line, which is what they were saying without saying it. So
Go, Marge. Uh-huh. Look at you.
I love I just wake up with two dogs and I'm good to go.
So we got to be sure you've got dogs at all times.
Maybe you could be like a dog sitter, through the night. So they can stay at your house and you can wake up with them and
That's a great idea. Kind of night nurse.
Totally. There are many. That is a business, Marge. Drop your dogs off here.
Actually, you know what you could. I've just had a thought. Are you open to a thought, Marge? wondering, it might do dog kennels out of business, but like not Airbnb, but dog B&B. So when someone's going on holiday, someone who would actually like to have them, and then you could have your calendar booked out. So, this dog for these 2 weeks, another dog here.
All right, Channel, the next place I got to move to, I'm going to make sure they'll let me have a dog.
Right.
Sounds good.
Can't
Right.
have a dog where I am. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
good
really
point.
productive, y'all.
That is such a good point. And you could think in terms of the finances of that too. You just increased your,
My
your ability to pay your
my
own rent.
That's really great, Julie.
Because what's the going rate to have a dog boarded by somebody in person instead of stuck in a kennel?
I think it's $50.
It's $50 a night. What does that do? 50, 60, like, whew, there's a good income right there. I love it. And you don't have to pay for therapy. So
No, they're my therapy dogs.
exactly. You're set.
I was with some people on a call the other day that we don't have any pets, and I grew up with a dog, and every now and then I go through this whole guilt thing of bad mother, you haven't your children don't have pets, yeah. And they were talking about their cats, and this one woman was talking about her cat who, if she's feeling down or whatever, the cat will come and it will stand on her, and she said it puts its paws where she's experiencing pain. She said almost every time. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is like, where can I get one of those? It's like, wow, like just that connectedness. Yeah.
Shanley, since you follow Katie Hendricks so she reposted this man who was he was sitting out in a pasture playing his guitar and amplifying the guitar and his singing,
Yeah.
so that not just there's an amplification, and all of these he videotaped all these animals coming up to him. First it
And
was
licking him, like I think it was a cow on his
licking him like
neck, and
me, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it was just this parade of different scenes of him. There was the cows coming over and nuzzling him, and there was the horse, and there was I don't know, where else was he? He was out in nature. There was some
He
sort
had it wasn't an alpaca, but he elephants, like a mama elephant and a baby, and something that looked like an alpaca but wasn't. And it's normally an animal that's very timid and won't go anywhere near a human being, and it came right up to him.
Yeah. So that mutuality of connection again is lovely how we can put our attention on this again instead of having to be in the middle of whatever that is in the fight of it all versus this other possibility. I had no idea. I mean that would elicit that from a wild animal.
Well, and it's inside of the map, isn't it, Jules? Because I know a nature photographer, it takes a couple days for him to release the energy of the world. But once out there, and you've probably heard these stories, the animals will come up to you. I go, oh, that's because they're vibrating.
Yeah.
They don't pick up an energy of combativeness or fear or whatever. They don't pick up a reactive brain energy.
What we're talking about is such a big deal because we're animals picking up on each other's energy all day long versus shifting our energy and becoming that so that we're putting something out that other animals would be able to relax with and come towards. So that's pretty intense to think about. Okay, I'm walking out of my culture and I have to decontaminate myself so that I can be available to nature and sending out a different energy to nature that it can pick up on and come towards instead of run away from.
You just mentioning that, Julie, I can remember when our kids were younger, and growing up, our family had never really camped apart from going on school camps and stuff like that. But as a family, we have camped and we've camped a lot. But at first, there was a real learning curve around, oh, what's the gear we need and how do we do this? And would go with my sister and her husband, who were just really confident, and they helped Andrew and I to relax into the space. And sometimes I'd find we'd pack up. You pack and you pack and you pack because we'd go to camps that didn't have refrigeration. And, so you've got to think about the food and what you take, and they're a bit more remote. So you're not going to a supermarket each day. But once we were there and we'd set up tent, there was just this, and all that effort. But within an hour, I felt like I've been on holiday for days just because I'm in nature every morning, all through the day, at night, with very little stuff around me. So sometimes when I was packing, I'd be like, why am I doing this? And then I'd get there and it's like, this is why.
This is why.
This is magic.
Yeah.
And it feels like the animal thing, Marge.
Mhm.
Mm.
The working in lodging, I wouldn't do it any place other than where we were
Ah.
because it was just that channel.
Mm.
People would come in on a Friday night and they would be, where's this, where now, where do I go for that? And you'd think, oh my gosh, they're not going to make it through the weekend. They're just not going to, there's no way they're staying. We're not their place because we were very rustic, hot and cold running water, inside plumbing, but no telephones, no TVs, very rustic. And you think there's no way. And then the next morning, 7:30, the front doorbell would go and you'd go out there and there they'd be. And you think, okay.
Oh.
But they'd have their cup of coffee and they'd say, oh my gosh, this place is this is so gorgeous. Where can we go for a hike? What can we, it's just this totally turned around energy. And I saw that so much and I just loved it.
Mm.
So yeah, I understand that.
And Laura, since you're not there anymore, what do you notice for your own body not partaking in that in a daily way?
The thing I notice is that I need to get myself out away. Go for a walk where civilization recedes, even if it's just I can go a few blocks and there's an empty field on the right and an empty field on the left. And even just that much open space, that will reset my counter. If I get to go to the mountains, my counter resets just, it's just astounding. But that's what I've discovered about me is that I do need, I live in a gorgeous place. I have a lovely home. It's, but I need every day to go out there and walk by a pond or walk next to a field, or I need that sky, that open space that people aren't around. And it doesn't need to be much, but I need that. That's part of my balancing.
So we were talking about disengaging from media or from the news cycle, and now we've taken it up a couple notches of disengaging from humans, basically this human stress response, human threat response, to remember that that's not how nature works. I mean, really, that's just such a big, like, what? I'm thinking about Animal Wisdom. I love that book. I've mentioned it at different times, but written by the vet Linda Bender. She's a psychic vet, and this one part where she says, an animal who's just kind of walking through the world, animal who could die in the next second because it's going to be somebody's food or vice versa. Like an animal trusts themselves, trusts the world, and trusts source. And to imagine that, like, okay, yeah, I don't know. I've been, not that they're thinking, but like, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, but I still trust myself. I'm in my own body. I trust the world. I trust source. I'm part of all of this. I'm part of nature, in a way that I aspire to in my own humanity of do I trust myself? Do I trust the world? Do I trust source? Like I repeat that as part of my own manifesto over and over, but what does that really mean for me? But that's different from me as part of the reactor brain culture, because that's for sure I don't. For sure I don't. I'm just reacting. I'm not trusting anything.
This might sound goofy, but I'm just trying to think in terms of building your environment and yet having a need for an urban environment. And I used to say, like, I used to love the grandeur of a city, and now I love the grandeur of nature. But I sometimes, so I'm just thinking out loud, like, when in urban environments do I still feel like I'm vibing? And it's true that it's looking at art or being at parties or even alone in a grocery store, going at 10 p.m. is love it, in a grocery store. But I just want to sort of train myself to whatever the wonder is or whatever the freedom is of being out in nature that has me to contaminate. How can I do that in my urban environments? Some are easy because, art is magic. But anyway, that's where I'm at in my head right now. Because usually I'm like, I love living except for humans. Humans can be just throw such a wrench into things. Anyway, that's where I'm at.
So yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, I immediately think of my favorite coffee shop. I walk in and my body feels really good. I mean, it just does because over the many years I've gone there, I just have that association, have that connection with them. I love them. If they know my name, yeah. So that's one place, which is sort of odd to think about. It's a coffee shop, and no wonder right? No wonder I frequent there. And I'm thinking, Christmas present for the coffee shop, how to actually express that. But where else? Where else do you feel that?
I notice that when I'm feeling, middle ground, when I'm down, I can't, I won't play. But as soon as I begin to feel a little bit like the world is on an even keel, then I want to play with the people that I meet. So I want to smile at the checker and catch her eye and make sure she's aware that I see her and, and wish her a good day. I want to make those connections with the people, the strangers that I'm bumping into. And if I can make somebody smile or laugh, then that feeds me because I've made this little teeny connection with somebody who has no reason to have any connection with me. But they're part of this and I'm part of this. And I feel like, okay, I've reminded them that there's a whole. And I've reminded me that there's a whole. And I'm part of it.
I think we're talking about Team Human now and how to support ourselves to have our own sense of Team Human so that I'm saying, hey, be part of my team. It's a different kind of team.
Can I throw a however in there?
Please.
Channel, were you going to talk? Because I'm trying to be mindful.
No.
I'm again looking at where to live, right? And I go, and I told you once before, like I notice like I feel at home anywhere, but I wonder if it's because I know I'm leaving, right? So Oklahoma City I had a great time, but it's really red. It's red state. And so I go, I'm already anticipating that I won't feel vibe and high if I were to live somewhere, that I'd feel trapped. So, and I'm just saying, Julie, I'm thinking
Yeah,
ahead, like
sure.
I know myself. So when I go into a coffee house, I know it's my tribe. It's my coffee house tribe or a microbrewery, right? So I'm just trying to think how to generate myself so that even though I've made up something about an environment, could I team human it? I don't think so. Not if I already know it's red state America, just, saying, but now I'm in that head, like,
Mm-hmm. What did you love about Oklahoma City? Tell us more.
oh, the taco place.
What'd you love about the taco place?
Packed. They were full, they were interesting, and it was groovy and and I had a nice slice of pizza from some nice flirty young men. Like I liked the little treasures, their little bookstore, their art scene was groovy. You know, there's little pockets in every place where people are creating and making it special. Yeah.
That whole red state thing, I don't know. It might just be a red herring. I mean, it might just be
Oh,
throwing us off so much because we've somehow believed in this. I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but uh, there there was research. Oh, who knows who did it? All they did was put green shirts on this group and red shirts on that group. And then they asked, I don't know how many hours, I can't remember, but sometime later, just like an hour or two later, what do you think about the other shirted people? That's all they did. Oh, well, they're different from us. You know, the othering happened immediately just because they had a different frickin' t-shirt on. So I don't know. Maybe we've just thrown ourselves off with this whole damn red blue thing to the
Mm.
degree of, okay, we clearly Americans love competitions and sports, and okay, so do New Zealanders, I think. May humans, like we just love that idea of competition. Who's going to win? Maybe it just has thrown us off the whole track. Because what if we're not different? I really appreciate that Colorado is considered to be a purple state. There's something that's so affirming about that. Like, thank God we don't have to be one or the other. Thank you, God. We can be a blend.
Jules, did I already share this with you one time? I did a volunteer gig um at um it's in Boulder and it's an old person's living arrangement connected to a medical center.
Okay.
And I would read other people's poems to the memory loss wing.
That's
And
beautiful.
I remember thinking that I was so afraid, and yet I had all the power. But I realized it because I was the one who didn't belong.
Hmm.
And so I think that not belonging is at the core of imagine a cowboy, I'm just stereotyping, and a gay man, and he doesn't belong with him.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the source of homophobia? It just makes me wonder if that's underneath all of it,
Hmm.
including racism.
Right? Not belonging. Yeah, probably.
Who's to say the cowboy isn't gay? I mean, he could wear a cowboy hat and he could still be gay. And
True.
that's what when we talk about a red or a blue or something, it's not everybody. It may be, that may be kind of what the overall perception is. But there are individuals, that group is made up of individuals. And those individuals we don't know about until we actually engage.
There's a
And
really
I just was trying to find
Yeah,
a representative of
something.
the most hetero,
No, I
normative
understand
dude.
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that's, for me, that's one of the things that we fall into is thinking, oh, they all think that.
Mm.
And that's not necessarily true because we're all individuals. And I just, sometimes I think we forget that. I don't know.
I just was looking up this film we saw recently called Will and Harper. Anybody seen that? Will and Harper. It's on Netflix. Marge, you've seen it. So Will Ferrell and his friend, his lifetime friend, who's now has finally decided is to come out as transgender. So Will knew him as a man at SNL, and then I think I can't remember the story, but now they're re-engaged with each other, and they decide to do a trip across the country and see what happens. And it's a beautiful, like, just this unfolding of what's their experience, and they go in this experience and that experience, trying it out, and then they sit and talk to each other on lawn chairs, looking out in some beautiful landscape. But it's really challenging this over and over, and including meeting up with some real intense transphobia. But that was not their only experience. It was really this wonderful just journey through, just watching what was really true for them, and with each other, like how did they navigate that shift in their relationship.
Added it to my movie list.
Yeah,
I love it.
it was
People give recommendations.
very
And we've just converted back to Netflix, so it's kind
oh
of
good.
exciting.
Okay, there it is. Shannon, while you're there, since you're my co-pilot on this, would you find the Katie, if you can, the Katie video that we were talking about earlier, because it'd be fun to just add that to
The
this.
animal thing.
The animal, yeah.
Yeah. And to be able to share screen and play it, or just to share the link, or
Share
what do
the
you want?
screen and play it, although then we got to worry about the sound. But I don't think the sound matters. I think just the visual would be really fun to
Yeah.
just see and add this to this conversation.
I'll have a look.
Thank you.
Do you
Yeah.
do you need to know how to share the sound, Jules? On Zoom?
I think it's an advanced setting that then, but would Channel find it on hers?
I know how to find it.
All right, well, we'll explore this.
Mm.
Direct technological. Yeah, Marge, you're good at that stuff.
Yeah, I think this is the wondrous technology. But I
Channel-
did just learn how to share a document in chat just last night, so there's all these features.
Do you know what? I've just gone on to it, and I've gone on to her website. I've gone on to posts, and it just says no posts available. So I don't know
Oh.
what that's.
All right. Okay. Well, not today then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to keep talking, and
All right.
I'll see. Yeah.
I love this conversation so much, and it reminds me of why I wanted to do this. I think it was, my mind is like, oh, people need support. I guess the people was me, and that what it really for me, it is the connection that supports me to do the things that we're talking about, to go off and smile at the checkup, or to take the next step, to say, oh, purple state. Like, so thank you everyone for this, creating the time so that we really can get the inspiration to go do it, not here, but elsewhere. Take these actions.
I'll also say I feel a little scared about bringing my crazy Pollyanna in, because I know she's a little overwhelming and a little bit,
Oh,
yeah. So I
What we-
appreciate you guys giving space to her.
Pollyanna, the Glad Game. Does everybody watch that movie?
Is
Channel, you know that movie? It's like a 1960s US classic.
I
Pollyanna.
don't think I do. Might
Well,
be adding it to the list.
Yeah, you might as well, because well, you would get the reference then. But she sings about the Glad Game, and anyway, Marge, have you ever seen Pollyanna?
no, I have not.
Have to watch it.
I just want, can I say though, I don't want to rescue or whatever, but you don't occur as Pollyanna to me at all, Laura. You occur to me as wise.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So your equanimity, or your bringing the optimism or whatever, is wise.
I appreciate that.
And even Pollyanna kind of got a bad name, but she was the hero of the story. The whole town started cheering up because of Pollyanna. So Shannon, I see you
Yeah.
looking at Snow.
Yeah,
All right.
no,
All right,
not
well,
working.
we'll find it sometime. Just
Mm.
look up the video of the guy
Oh,
who
I have
Oh,
got it.
you
Sorry.
have. Okay, you stuck to it. All right,
Yeah. Okay,
can you share
so
your screen?
yeah, let's try. So I'm gonna do. So if I do advanced match and I click on computer audio, like what? So if I then just do that and then
is there a share sound option?
if I go to advanced, it just says computer audio. Oh, share sound. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna try that again. Share sound. Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's try video file. Okay. Share. And then it's telling me to, looks like it's telling me to select a video from my folder, and it's not in my folder, it's in Facebook. Any tips? Otherwise, I could
You
just try
can
playing
still
it.
do it. You can still, you got to pull up, share the Facebook page.
Okay.
Know what I mean? Or the pop out,
That window.
Okay.
and then you'll still have
I
that.
was a bit scared at first because you don't really know what to expect.
Okay. So, okay. Feeling scared.
Thank you for trying, Channel. I appreciate it. If it doesn't work, well,
Okay. Do you know what? I'm just going to do not advanced because it keeps asking me to pull from my folder. I don't know how to do it differently. So,
again, I don't think we need the sound even. I mean, it'd be nice to hear what he's playing, but it was the
okay.
visual for me.
And let me find the thing. Okay. So here we go. Can you guys see?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a bit scared at first because you don't really know what to expect. It was mind-blowing. It really changed my perception of animals. I always loved animals, and being a singer, I thought to myself, how can I do both? I tried to give them space, so I let them come to me, and they all came running. I was quite surprised at first, then it really opened my eyes to what they are. I could see how sensitive they are. They are like the most gentle beings. They are super receptive to the music. I had the opportunity to sing for an okapi. It might be one that surprised me the most. I was told there's no way it's going to come any close. They are very shy, very wild, and he ended up coming right next to me to listen to the music, which was an amazing experience, a very special meeting, especially since there might not be any around in like 50 years' time. I'm always surprised to how they react to the music. Parrots surprised me a lot because they were like dancing along and moving their heads to the music. I was mind blown when I saw that. Some animals are a bit more cautious when it comes to human beings. They will be scared at first and it will take some time getting used to each other, but they always end up coming and seeing what singing is all about. I get to meet some amazing animals and I feel like we share something. We share a special moment and connection. It's pretty amazing. The best audience there is.
Thank you, Channel. That
You're very
was, I don't know if it's worth it for
Yes.
you, but it's totally worth it. So thank you. Now I want to play for animals. I wonder if you have to be a good musician. Hmm.
Mm. Mm.
Chihuly comes over when I play, and he'll paw me and stuff, and I'm never sure if it's because he doesn't like what I'm doing or because he does like what I'm doing.
Good point.
Mm.
This is when I wonder how much of the world have I just never experienced because I've inhabited reactor brain so much of my life that I'm just not aware of what's possible if I was walking around in creative brain. It just hasn't been enough of my ongoing experience to be able to see life from that place. Who knows what mysteries I get to be part of.
Literally, Jules, because it'll be attracted to you. you know. I mean, I'm saying that to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be available to notice it because I'm not just looking at, is that a scary guy or is that I'm just not just in narrow focus and experiencing the world through what's wrong, what's wrong.
I want to say this has been in the last few days and thinking about all this, the most compelling and sustainable understanding that has me I can't wait to get home to start giving away my shit. That my environment with this stuff that I'm no longer using, like I just it's all I know it's all connected, but man, it really takes something to for me to let go of my fear of not having something when I need it.
Mm.
But the being that it gives me on a day-to-day basis just sucks. Anyway, it's all coming together. That one thing begets the other, starting with what is causing your state the minute you wake up.
Oh,
What are you
March.
carrying around, you know? And what are you denying yourself because you're managing all of that? And I just am going to be 60 this May. I just go, you better, you got 30 good. I declare I got at least 30 more years. I'm declaring it.
Mhm. Great.
But maybe even 40. Anyway, I want a high quality of life. What I'm saying that only because it takes the pressure of having less of your life left to live for me to finally get this handled. But why am I saying this? I can't believe the life I'm forfeiting, the life I've been forfeiting being in those states. You know, I'm not in regret right now. I'm just,
Like, whoa.
it's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Madge, you've
sucks.
just
Go ahead. You go ahead, Shannon.
you've just said some very quotable quotes, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm.
Can you say it back, Shannon?
Yeah, I can because I wrote them down because, and I'm just going to type. I can't believe the life I've been forfeiting. I don't know if I've spelled that correctly. And what else did you say? What is causing your state the minute you wake up? I just felt that question's compelling. Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that word sucks that it's just part of the vernacular. Wow, that really sucks. It does it sucks our energy. I'm letting it suck my energy. So no wonder that word is popular.
Mm. Um, I'm wondering, Madge, if you're open to an appreciation.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I really want to appreciate I know I haven't been here every time, but your authenticity through this whole series. Like it's profound. And for me, it's been profound experiencing what you're experiencing today, like all of it, all of it. And I'm grateful for your authenticity.
Thank you.
Me too. Me too. And for all three of you coming and being part of this. I have a sense of us, we just kind of completed the arc of this. What do you all think? Let's go on that high note of we're gonna go sing to the end. Like, now, I think in 2025, my intention is to do a free, ongoing, weekly kind of experience. I don't know yet if what that's gonna sound like or look like, but maybe you would be interested, and I'll let you know about that. But a drop in is kind of not so focused on this one issue, but just what's on people's minds to have this so I can be a support out into the world in any way I can. So But so now if we really are completing, any other completions any of you want to make in terms of your experience of this time, harking back to the election, the US election until now, and any takeaways that you've got?
I have one which is it's an appreciation as well, Julie, sneaking one in.
Oh, good. Okay, Shannon.
Um, I feel inspired by you listening to an impulse, doing the thing, making it happen, seeing it through. Like, yeah, I've found that really inspiring and watching you live from impulse and what you want to create and give to the world as well. So, thank you.
Yes.
Mm.
Any completions, Laura or Marge? Something else you want to speak?
I just want to appreciate Julie, every time I attend your events, the community you created, like I'm always aware that Channel, you're in New Zealand. Laura, I think you're in the US, but I don't know where. I think Midwest.
I'm in Loveland.
Oh, you're local. See,
Mhm.
but anyway,
Yeah.
um, everybody is kind and other oriented to other, not othering, but in everyone's corner. And I just want to appreciate everyone for that and you for causing those communities, Julie, which is global. You know, you're a worldwide phenom.
All the way to New Zealand. Yeah.
I feel sad that I wasn't able to get to more of these. It was not a good fall. Um, but I really appreciated being able to drop in here on the last few and share. And I thank you, Julie, for opening up the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's my favorite thing to play with people and play with us above the line. And that's just let me do that all day long. Whatever that looks like, if I'm running around bases or just sitting here looking at you all wherever you are. So yes, I want to, for me, my completions, I've got two. One is for you to know, and I've mentioned this, it hasn't landed completely. They haven't really just completely figured it out what they're going to do. But Ethel and then Shayla Durkin are going to be doing two Saturdays, I think. I think it's right around I was going to say coronation, the inauguration. So I think it's going to be midday on January 11th and then midday on January 18th. That's the last I've heard. There's going to be 2.5 hours, and you all might be interested in attending that. They're going to charge for it because they are, and I don't know how much they'll charge yet. But to know about that. It's a whole energy experience. Her orientation is, yay, I'm thrilled that this has happened. This is the best thing that was like, okay. So she was, yeah, really excited. So to just keep that on your radar if you're interested in that. And then what do I want to say for my completion? It's a new day. I feel teary. It's a new day. We're in the middle of this huge seismically like intense shift as a species, and it's easy for me to get all caught up in the US clearly, but then wow, species, what? Carolyn Mace, huge transformation. Okay, she's been around, well, only this lifetime, but um, people are saying this is unprecedented. We had that word a lot in 2016, but anyway, like we get to be part of this. And so I think for myself, these are my parting instructions to myself to be aware of getting caught in the little details of, oh no, oh no, oh, this cabinet member, oh my God. It's easy for me to go, step back to say, wow, what's the bigger possibility of what's really unfolding where humans can actually understand the level of power that we have, that we can even be as powerful as animals hanging out together. And that when we're in that state, really, I think anything is possible, and that we don't even know what's possible as a species because we've been so in survival. And I think we've kind of gone past that. Not everyone, but as a species, we don't have to just do that. We don't have to just be about who can we kill now. We can start to wonder about what are the real possibilities for ourselves and each other. So yay us, and that we're here right now. Let's stay linked arm in arm, Team Human. Yeah, and I look forward to spending time with the three of you again. Yes, Channel.
I have a quick question. Will the owl be present at Ethel's thing, do you think?
Oh,
Yeah, like if we wanted to attend virtually, like is that an option?
I think the whole thing will be virtual, actually.
Oh, very cool.
Mhm.
Okay,
I think the whole thing will
awesome.
be virtual because I don't even know where Ethel's somewhere out in the plains of Colorado, I think.
Okay,
And I don't even know where Shayla is. So yes, this will be a virtual event,
okay, yeah.
which is different from other times.
Yeah, I'm keen.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for being such great pals and teammates. And until we meet again, happy trails.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.